Hey everyone, this is Dave out from behind the camera, sitting down with John Falstrom.
Yes, sir.
Author of EADG 4 Theory Textbook for the Bass Guitar. And today is December 10th, 2016. We are below ground.
Where are we, Dave?
We're 45 minutes south of the majestic, historic Wrigley Field, home of the 2016 World Series champion Chicago Cubs.
That's correct, sir.
And we are 35 minutes south of the mighty Soldier Field with the struggling Chicago Bears. We used to always talk about the mighty Soldier Field, but it's more so for the veterans, and this year the football team is not there.
When I think of Soldier Field, I think of Dick Butkus.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I call it the mighty Soldier Field, the greatest middle linebacker to ever play the game. That's why I call it the mighty.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but my mom grew up down the street from Dick Butkus.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. They did in the
That's
south
huge.
side of
That's
Chicago.
huge.
Yeah,
That's
they did.
huge.
Yeah, so
Anyways, that's why I call it, even though the Bears have whatever, but I think of Dick Butkus.
Right.
Right. All right. That's where we're at.
Yeah. So last time we got together was in October. So a lot has changed since then.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, the Cubs won the World Series first time in 108 years.
108 years, Cubbies.
And
we're Cub fans.
We survived. We survived the election this year.
Yeah.
So the world is still turning.
Yeah, the election.
And now we have this impending snowstorm where we're supposed to a lot of snow, and then the polar vortex. They keep coming up with all these words. The polar vortex, which is going to come down from Canada, and we are expecting wind chills way below zero. And usually we don't get that till January, so it's a little bit unexpected for December.
And you can see we're kind of pumped up about this, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of pumped up about
hunkering
this.
Hunkering down.
No,
so
we love
yeah.
this.
So you gotta excuse I was working today, so my hair is probably not photo ready. But anyway, so yeah. Let's see what else is going on. Well, we had Thanksgiving already. So did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I was sick the whole time, but it was good. Actually, it was good.
Yeah.
That was fine.
Yeah, our Thanksgiving was a little different, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. Discussion is kind of like when life throws you a curveball. Now, we're going to tie in with music and stuff like that, but, you know, we're going into Christmas, and I go to a church called Parkview Christian Church, and usually what they do is the first Sunday after Thanksgiving, they will address this. The one year they were calling it the Colors of Christmas, Blue Christmas,
right. And
because for a lot of people, Christmas time is not the most wonderful time of the year. This year was kind of rough for us because the week before Thanksgiving, my father-in-law passed away kind of suddenly, had a massive stroke. So that was kind of unexpected, threw us a curveball. My oldest son is Devin. My oldest son, Devin, right now is about halfway through boot camp. He's in the United States Navy.
Proud of that guy.
So he's serving our country. And I broke the news to him today that his grandfather had passed away. We weren't able to tell him that. So he had kind of a curveball thrown to him as well.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking about some stuff, you know, as we are getting into the Christmas season. It's not always happy. And if you're feeling that, you're not really feeling it, it's okay, and just wanted you to know that you're not alone in all that. And nobody, I think that the whole idea of it being the most wonderful time of the year for some people, if stuff's going great, it's great. Christmas will magnify it. If stuff's not going good, it magnifies that as well.
Yeah, it does.
And so before we're filming, just keep this in mind, whether you are a believer or a Christian or not, in the Bible, when Jesus was born, he was born in a barn. There was no room at the inn, and I don't think that was exactly not exactly bed of roses there either. And again, so life, you know, kind of threw them a curveball.
Yeah.
And it's been happening to people for a long, long time. And so one of the things that I want to talk about, just have a candid discussion about stuff, is, you know, like a lot of times, and we'll tie this into music now, is when life throws you a curveball. You know, all of a sudden you're sitting there playing in a band.
Yeah.
Things may be going great, and guess what? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're either fired, somebody quits, or the band breaks up. You know, and talk about that a little bit, because you've had that happen.
Yeah, big time. I started off, like I said, when I started playing bass, my goal was to get no band right away, and get the band good. A band gets good, the players get good by practicing.
Right.
So my goal was to get in a band, find some guys who like music, practice, get good enough to play a party. Okay? And obviously that we did that, but I want beginners to, or people. I get questions a lot. When is it time to get into a band? Right now, because a band grows together.
Right.
You make each other better. So if you think you're not good enough being a band, you're wrong. Get into a band. You grow together. Okay. Find guys who are equal with you. It's that's how you learn how to play with each other. Play in a band.
You also get that motivation to get better.
Exactly, the motivation to get better, to do gigs. And it's just nothing like being in a band to understand everything. You got to know how to play in a band. You lead in your own ways. Anyways, so I was going first year and got into a band called Midnight Express, Midnight.
Who practiced in this studio.
Right, in the studio, EADG 4 headquarters west. Now, you can see the mojo's phenomenal down here because we were a great band. And anyways, my life was going to be in this band because we were together for, me and Frank, the guitar player, 74 to 82. The band was together for about 7 years, and we practiced 4 nights a week. We just wanted to play together. We didn't have any inklings of making it big, but we thought we were going to play in a really good rock and roll band. We were like a family for like 7 years.
Right.
And then out of the blue, boom, it just broke up. A guy quit, a couple guys quit, and it was over. Now I had a choice, because I remember sitting there going, and everyone's gone now, all my friends, everyone, of either packing it up or just waiting around for someone to call me, which was obviously not going to happen, or I was going to spend that time to practice and get better.
Right.
And go on by myself. And I decided, after the initial depression,
right.
two couple weeks of a month of depression, I just started saying, I'm going to get better. And that's when I practiced the most of my life, from midnight to 9 in the morning, for 9 months. That was my practice routine. I was an individual now. I had no band, so I didn't have a face. So I used it as motivation. A lot of guys don't use it for motivation. Their band breaks up and they quit.
Right.
A lot of them, more than I got to say 80%.
Yeah. Interesting thing though too, and we were talking on the phone before this. I think it was yesterday or something, as we talked about how you get dealt this curveball,
Big time.
but how you recover from this is like you wanted to be close to the bass.
Yes.
And so you said, so your goal was to be a musician, but here you are now 30 years later, and you're a teacher.
Right.
And talk about that. Talk about, we talked about how you want to stay close to the bass, and that was the way
That's
to
how
do
I
it. So
became
talk
a teacher,
about it.
right.
So talk about it. I mean, it's kind of funny,
It is. Like I said, when I was with Midnight, I had no plans of being a teacher. Obviously, we were writing music. We were original band, and we were doing covers. So my vision was I was going to be just a really good bass player in that band. But when I became an independent, like I said, well, it's like I better do something here. What can I do?
You got to pay the bills.
Right, exactly. Got to start thinking, well, now I got no band. We were making money in the band, though, too.
Right.
So I got no income, and I said, you know what? And I was I just started writing things down about how I learned, and I got into teaching because I started teaching here, actually, in these headquarters first.
Okay.
Like in 80, 82.
Okay.
81. I started teaching right away, and I got better and better, and they, all these students I had made me a better teacher.
Right.
So I became a teacher by fluke or desperation, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and we've talked about that too.
Desperation.
Yeah, this is the funny thing.
Yeah.
Because with us, it seems like, at least in my experience with you and a lot of the projects that you've been involved in, if I come out and seen it, life has thrown you a few curveballs, and the way you've responded has been, things have come out of desperation.
The best things.
Or boredom.
No, actually,
but mostly it's desperation.
The best things I've done are out of desperation.
Yeah, the best things have been desperation.
Yeah, my most gratifying things in music have been out of, what am I going to do now? I don't know. I'm going to figure something out. So, best things that come out was teaching the bass. That was like out of, like, not desperation, but, well, yeah, because the band was gone. And like I said, I want to stay close to the bass. Teaching keeps you close to the bass. I knew I had a long way to go too, where I wanted to go. So that kept me close to the bass, and we learned together with my students. It was still spectacular. And then, the Big Boppers.
Right.
the band I'm still in, we started in '89. It was out of desperation because I wasn't playing in a band, and I didn't know anyone. So my buddy Frank from Midnight,
Right.
I said, let's. I saw a flyer at Borders. They wanted a duo.
Right.
And it's like, well, we'll do it. And we just went there, and I had my acoustic bass, and we said, and it all evolved, and I started playing melodies, chords. So that was desperation. We answered it, and they hired us every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that was pure desperation. I just saw a sign up to call them. I called them that night about 10 o'clock.
Right.
And now the Big Boppers are going strong.
Right, and it changed people's life too, because it's kind of funny because they come out to see you, like your guy Harry the dentist.
Yeah, Harry.
Oh,
the
they're
dentist.
showing up with an egg shaker and just
we guys
participating
in the
and
audience,
stuff like that.
bringing their instruments, and so that was great. And that's again, that was desperation. Me seeing a sign, I got to do something.
Right.
And now it was a duo, instrumental duo, which evolved into some great stuff, which I'm still doing.
Right.
Teaching, I'm still doing. Again, came out of desperation.
True.
What to do? No one told me to do this.
Right.
But again, you want to stay close to your bass and want to play. You enjoy it so much. I don't know. It's hard to. It's flukes.
It was.
Whatever it is, it happened. And the book was desperation. When I wrote EADG 4, because I couldn't write all that. I had like 72 students a week, David. I'm trying to handwrite all this stuff, and I'm coming up with all these new charts.
Right. And then you're doing it over and over.
And I'm doing it over and over. So the book took 3 years to write.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's desperation.
Right.
I have to get it down on paper because I'm not going to write it anymore.
Right.
So again,
Right.
it comes out of fear. I like Danny at Melody Mart. John, I go, Danny, you're really busy. He goes, it's fear, and whatever it is, desperation, fear. You do great work. Seems like that's great work. So all you guys out there who think you're not getting anywhere or it's over, it's not over.
Yeah.
It's not over. It's there. You just got to find it. Keep playing. That's the main point. It's not over. If you're in a good band and it's over, it happened. Keep playing your bass. Keep your eyes and ears open. Go to jam nights. Put ads up. Don't be embarrassed or ashamed to put an ad in the paper. Bassist looking for a band. Swallow your pride. I did it many times.
Yeah.
And it's always worked out.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being desperate.
Yeah. Some people
play.
Some people will find too. We talked about. Obviously, we talked about my father-in-law passing away, and and you've lost your father. Your father passed away, and stuff like that. Your mom's still going strong, which is good. God bless her.
Yeah.
How old's your mom?
90.
90. She's 90. Sweet little old lady.
Yeah.
But some people they'll find their music as is almost their comfort. Like during loss, so you can talk about that. Like, when your dad passed away, did it affect you with your bass playing at all? I'm just kind of curious.
It does. It does. Any kind of suffering you do, joyful and sadness, it changes your playing your music. You still play, but you play for different reasons.
Right.
And so life is a roller coaster, and the playing, you can't, your emotions control your playing, so you can't help the way you feel.
Right.
Sometimes you take it out on your playing, or sometimes you won't.
Yeah. Now not all. Yeah. Now not all the curveballs are bad things. Sometimes it could be like surprise. Have you ever gotten a call like way out, like you didn't even expect, like way out of left field? You call and you get hired to do something like something you were hoping for.
Right. Yeah. Serendipity, or whatever you want to call it. Well, the Midnight album, we talked about that. It got reissued by a record company in Chicago. Our album
several, 77. Yeah, well, it's 2000. When did it come out? 16 or 15?
It came out in 2000, summer of. That's a good question, Dave. 15.
Okay, so it's been 15. So it was 77, 87, 97, 07.
Right.
So you're looking at 38 years.
38 years. We didn't know Midnight.
38 years. That album was like hanging in limbo.
Right, limbo. We didn't do anything. We didn't like the mix, and I got a call. Anyways, it just evolved. Where Drag City, a great record company in Chicago, reissued it, and I had them remaster it, and now our album is back selling.
On vinyl for all you hipsters.
Yeah, all around the world. On vinyl, all around the world, and that's it. That's like, something we did, and it's just again me being in music still. That's how it happened.
Right.
If I was done playing bass, it would have never happened. You know what I mean? So that's just one example. It's just stay in there. Just hang in there.
Right. Find a support group. Not support group, but Even in your music communities, your local music communities,
Yeah.
your friends that you play music
Hang out
with,
with your
and
buddies,
stuff
your
like that.
friends. Say, go to jam nights.
They'll help you through some stuff too.
Yeah, find out you got some friends who are jamming. Go over there, just watch them play, hang out with them. You might meet someone new. That's great. That's definitely good.
Yeah, one of the other things too sometimes is if for example you're in a band and it breaks up and you got another player that's in there, ask them if you can come in and sit in with them sometime just to to help you through stuff. If you let them know you're not like wanting to intrude on them, but hey man, you got a spot, maybe I could sit in for a couple songs or whatever when you're playing. Not all the time, but maybe they're doing a gig and talk to their band leader and say something, man, I'm kind of going through a rough spot. I know some of the songs you guys are playing. You mind if maybe on one of the gigs I just come sit in? I don't want to cut or nothing like that. I just want to play.
Yeah.
And if they respond positively, that's cool. If not, it's all right too. It doesn't hurt to ask.
Right. You tried. You don't want to look back and say, I should have done that.
Right.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to look back and have regrets. Like I should have done that, or I should have turned over that stone. You got to turn them all over.
Right.
Most of them won't have anything there, but like I said, there will be gold under some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, make sure you look back and say, I have no regrets.
Right.
And a regret is you quitting because your band broke up or nothing's happening right now. You can make something happen real easy.
Yeah.
Real easy. Like I said, ads, go to jam nights. Practice. Yeah, I practiced 9 hours a day when I lost the band, when they left. So it inspired me, and I still practice a lot to this day. It gives you great,
right.
I don't know, practice habits. Gives you a great.
Put you in the zone.
Yeah, I like zone. Put you in a zone. I know, you get into a zone and you just hear the bass and you learn how to play. Like I said, I was telling you, hit the strings. Don't ask questions. Just play.
Yeah.
Play anything, but you gotta hit the strings. You gotta every time you hit a note,
right,
you get better.
Yeah.
I just got better.
Exactly. We're laughing about that. It's like every time you do and that's a good thing.
Is.
Yeah. So
I just got better.
right. Exactly.
I'm better than I was a minute ago.
That's
I
true.
really am.
Right.
I really am.
Yeah. So another thing too, we're talking about some of the stuff with, I guess when life throws you a curveball or whatever, sometimes you need to get a little motivation. I guess it's kind of shifted now. Our conversation has shifted, but it's our conversation, and we're sharing it with you, and we want you to be able to participate. Make sure you comment and on your thoughts or how you deal with all this kind of stuff too. But we were talking about before the video. Like his little quote there. It's like every time you hit a note, you get better. Every time you hit a string, you get better. Boom! I just got better.
Right.
It's
got better.
It's a quote, and it's great, and it's it's
true.
It's funny because we're laughing, but there's truth to that, and I wanted to say, there's a kid on Facebook. He's 22 years old. He lives in the southern part of Indiana. His name is Colin Clark, and he has Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And he was, I think it was, I forget which one of them. I think Men's Health magazine or whatever did a piece on him. There was a guy named Glenn Ubelor who kind of took this kid under his wing and kind of brought him out. And this kid has entered like bodybuilding competitions. He's done it. This is the second year now he did this. It's called Kentucky Muscle, and he goes down there, and every day, like I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he always posts this thing about how he never gives up, he never quits.
I've seen it. I've watched it. Dave told me about it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, and he's because of my family, my friends, because of all the people that are around him, that he says, I will never give up, I will never quit.
Right.
Every day he's going to promise to train harder.
And he does.
And do more.
And he does.
This kid does. Yeah, watch that video and then pick up your bass and just kind of adapt it. Instead of bodybuilding, go with the bass. Never
Same
give
thing.
up.
Right.
Never give up, never quit.
That's if you want. Again, this is not for everyone. You'll know deep in your soul.
Yeah, and this kid he goes, from the bottom of my heart, he goes,
Correct.
I will never give up,
Correct.
I will never quit.
Right.
So
this is just to reassure you guys out there who are like on a border, like, is this really meant for me? Well, you're going to know if it's in your heart and soul, it's meant for you.
Right.
If it's not in your heart and soul, it's not going to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like, your buddy with it's meant to be.
Right.
Body and soul, and it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's see what else. Well, we're coming up on Christmas time. So we've got a festive guitar with us today. You said you brought out Cherry Bomb.
Yeah, a little storyline on this guy.
Yeah. Tell them about how Cherry Bomb got the call, actually.
Cherry, yeah. What happened, really liking down here my Telecaster bass Fender, 72 Telecaster, which has been playing great, and my Rickenbacker 2012.
Yeah, which you've seen in like the last
Right.
sessions. That's pretty much the bases
Yeah.
that we've been using. So if you notice those, yeah.
So last night I knew my Rick was the weather. When the weather changes in Chicago, does funny things with the necks. I don't like to do too much with the necks.
Rick's the summer bass.
Rick's the summer bass. The telly changed on me last night. I come down here, I'm playing it, and it's like something's not right. So I'm trying to tweak it, and it just wasn't happening. So I said, let me try my P. This is a 2002 Fender Precision USA, nicknamed Cherry Bomb for obvious reasons. And I opened the case last night and it was just like looking at me saying,
Pick me. I'm ready.
it's like,
Put me in, coach.
it's like, am I ready yet, dude? You know, I mean, it's like, come on, I'm perfect. And so I'm playing this bass and it was perfect. Tweaked it last night. That's why it's got the call, and again, with the Christmas, the red, beautiful bass.
Sounded great for what
Yeah.
for the sessions that we did too.
Yeah, again.
Especially them strummed chords,
Yeah.
man. It sounded awesome.
This bass is a killer bass. I haven't used it down here because the Telecaster and the Rick have been playing spectacular.
Right.
And this guy, again, has always been a #1 bass. I'm glad, well, I'm kind of glad now that the Tele wasn't really playing that good because of the weather in Chicago. And this guy just set perfectly last night, and this was about 3 a.m. You know, I'm a night owl.
Right.
So this is 3 a.m. I'm down here plugging it in, checking it out, tweaking it. And obviously, I can only play as well as a bass is set up. And this baby is about a 10 set up right now. So that's why Cherry Bomb, or the 2002 P, got the call, as we say it.
Right.
Because it deserved it. And I love this bass.
Right. So anyway, so that was our holiday Christmas, our Christmas special. We say Christmas.
And I want to give a call out again to the EADG 4 sign, who my buddy Mike Sider made.
Yeah, you saw that in the
Yeah,
videos.
from scratch.
Right now it's probably not
In there, but it's in the videos. And a buddy of mine, Dennis Stefani, who got me this classic Fender Bassman from 1973. What I've been using down here, it's a phenomenal bass, Fender Bassman, had 50 watt 215s, and I got it so low right now. I mean, but the tone is spectacular. That's a good for Dennis.
We've been enjoying that.
Yeah, thanks,
so,
Dennis, and,
yeah.
for hooking me up with that. And a lot of like Dave. Again, this wouldn't be happening without Dave. He's my producer.
Also some of the idea guys too.
A lot of ideas. He gives me, like when I'm stuck, I say, Dave, I got nothing to talk about. And Dave said, well, how about this? How about this? How about this? He goes, I go, yeah.
Yeah. I scour the textbook
Right.
looking for material, and then we create content, of course. Based on it.
Dave's huge. Trust me.
But we've got a couple things like that are going to be coming up in 2017.
2017, yeah.
We've been kicking around some ideas, so we'll just give you a little sneak peek of some of the things that we're going to be talking about. We've been talking about doing a bass boot camp. This is going to be, we're going to be doing a series of videos that are going to be straight up, he's not going to be your friend.
I don't know if I am now.
I don't know, but these are basically going to be drills that videos that you're going to, like how people turn on an exercise video and watch it over. Right. These are going to be specific technique videos that are going to be meant to. We're going to put you through the ringer, and I think we're going to call them the Ringer series.
Yeah. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's just going to be for the people who are aspiring to get better. If you make a New Year's resolution to get better.
And you will.
You will. Especially when we run you through the ringer, that's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about probably something about buying gear, what things to look for in a bass, stuff like that.
Calling notes.
We're going to do the note call. We're going to do the note calling thing. We're going to be doing chord shape things.
Yeah.
So stuff that you saw like in the sessions that we filmed today, it's going to be even more up close. It's going to be more intense.
Yeah.
The gloves are off for those. So if you're looking for something that's really going to push you and your playing to go to the next level, we're hoping that those videos will help.
They will.
They'll
Trust
help.
me. I already know it.
So a couple other things that we're going to be talking about. Well, we did the strum chords on the electric bass, and they sounded great. We're probably going to do another session bringing out the acoustic bass. You can hear the comparisons. Make the decision if that's something that you're going to want to add to your arsenal of equipment that you play with. Just a comparison thing. The acoustic bass has its place if you're not an acoustic bass player.
Get one. Get one.
Yeah,
Get an acoustic bass.
Yeah, they're not expensive,
No.
and it's going
Get
to give
one.
you a little bit of flexibility in your playing. We're going to continue to do some more content from the book or adaptations from the book. We're going to do some new things, and I think we're going to even do in some. We're going to have a back to basics series, or just getting started. Now, a lot of you guys, we know the primary target audience is intermediate players, intermediate to advanced players, good players. But we've got
rock
some
and
people.
rollers. I'm a rock and roller, blues
Right.
player, blues, rock and roll, pop, and that's who's usually I appeal to.
Right. But we're gonna come up with some videos that are going to be geared towards maybe some new players.
Yep, absolutely.
And you know what? Even if you are an advanced player, there's still going to be stuff to learn in there. But they're going to be almost like
something different.
So there's going to be some more like a revised. We had a base fundamentals video that we did a long time ago. We're going to go back and we're going to tweak that. It's going to be some up close things.
Up close, yeah.
Up close base fundamentals, and we're also going to be. We kicked around the idea of going back and visited some of your early books that you learned from, like your adaptation or inspiration from Mel Bay and
Carol
stuff
Kay.
like that. Yeah. So
Rufus Reed. Again, we of course, a lot of things are involved. Like when you become a full-time player, and a lot of things to cover and go back and talk about. So that's definitely going to be happening. And again, remember this. If you remember anything from these sessions, play your strings. Just hit the strings. I just got better, by the way.
Right.
People say, well, how do I make this? How do I do this? How do I make my fingers go there?
You just gotta do it.
Just do it.
Right.
Make up something and repeat it over and over again. There's no such thing as too much practicing. You do it.
Right.
And that's serious.
And that's a lot, because
You gotta
you're gonna advance at the level of commitment that you put into it.
Absolutely. All right.
So we're just we're just kind of wanted to give you a little insight as to things that we're talking about, because I mean, at this point with the teaching and stuff like that, this has been honed down to almost like these are like private lessons.
Yeah, they've been private lessons.
These are like private lessons. And we were talking about this, like kind of reminiscent on the videos, which we've had EADG4 videos now for several years.
Mm-hmm.
And it started off this is kind of a funny thing, like life throws you a curveball and stuff comes almost like the videos almost came out of desperation later
Correct.
on. But we did the overview like in one day. We covered the whole textbook, and it was insane.
Oh.
So if you watch like EADG4 parts like 1 through 4,
Yeah, that was just to show you what was in the. It wasn't meant to teach you much.
It was
just
like,
to
here's
show
what's
you
in the book.
that this is in the book.
Yeah. And
But again, then we started getting closer. It just evolved. Again.
Yeah, then we had like this. We had like we call them like they're almost like seasons or albums. The second album we shifted over to the studio.
We're on our third album now.
We're on the third. Yeah, this is like a double EP,
Yeah,
a double LP, double EP, double EP.
EP.
We'd have been long over.
Yeah, double LP. And again, you evolve and you get better. See?
Right, and I think that by changing the location of where we're at now, this is definitely, we talked about in one of our other discussions about inspirational spaces, and this is very, very inspirational, and so a lot of the ideas that we come up with are from here. So
yeah, definitely.
Anyways, now this is your part to be a part of our conversation. We talked about a lot of stuff. Life throws you a curveball and everything. That was pretty much the kind of focus of it. Just hang in there. You're not alone through that kind of stuff. Share with us. What are some of the things that you've done to overcome some of the things that life throws you a curveball? Yeah, what keeps you still going? Right. Also, what are you most excited about seeing that's coming up? What are some of the things that you're looking for? We always like to find out from the community, what are some of the things that you're most want? What do you find that's lacking in any kind of, if you're seeking like online-based instruction?
Right. What do you want me to show you?
Yeah, basically. What do you want to learn from him? Because this guy's giving it back. He's giving back to the base community.
I am.
Talk about that a little bit. We talked about that before. We're doing these videos. These videos, everything we produce is like at no cost. It's no cost to anybody.
Yeah. Again, why I'm doing these up-close videos, private. Like I said, I've had a terrific life on the base, career. It's been good. It's been good.
Many years.
43 years. It's been really good to me. Been a lot of work, but I've enjoyed it, and I'm just giving back. I want to, show people what I've seen, ideas, insights, cut to the chase. You don't need to worry about that. It doesn't happen. I like to cut to the chase and just show you. You know,
Yep.
if you like it, it works. If you don't, it's, well, with different personality. Everyone's got a different personality. Everyone's got a different outlook. Hopefully, if this hits your personality, it's gonna work. So
Right.
that's why I'm doing it. I'm giving back. Really,
Yep.
'cause
We know that John's no holds barred when it comes to things like you got to know your notes.
Yeah.
No tablature.
No tablature.
Yeah.
Boom. That's it. Straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John, your student's here. Tell him to go away. Tell him yourself. The little inside joke there.
We will talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk
someday.
about this someday in the
Yeah.
future. But
Yeah.
we're gonna put you to work though. So anyway, God, I've done a lot of talking this time. John's voice was a little
last night
raspy. He was
I
out
did a lot of
last night.
talking at a gig, and it was cold, and I've been talking. The more I talk, the raspier it gets. So that's
It's
okay.
gonna sound like this pretty soon. Yeah.
It's something.
So,
right.
but anyways, so from EADG4 Production, we
Headquarters,
want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas,
Absolutely.
and a Happy New Year.
Yeah. We'll see you next year, right there.
We'll see you next year
See you
for
next year.
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
next year we're going to be doing this. We'll be back at it, and enjoy your holiday season. If you have any new gear, make sure that you post some pictures on John's Facebook
Yeah, I love
page.
it.
We
Like I
want to
said.
see new stuff.
Give me some questions. Any questions, I'll answer them best I can. Okay,
Yep.
guys.
Yep. And so enjoy your new year,
All right.
and be ready to be put through the ringer. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.